My name is John Poelman. I'm from IBM. I work at IBM Silicon Valley Lab in South San Jose. I'm here today representing the SPEC research group for big data, and I want to introduce that to you. This will be one of the least technical talks that you'll hear at XLDB this year, but I hope you don't go into power down mode just because of that. I realize that I'm standing between you and ice cream, so I'll try to be brief and keep things moving. Having said that, just hit the next button. Yeah, I was pressing that. There we go. Great. Okay. So the mission statement for this research group is to collaborate with academia and with industry to pull together benchmarking opportunities and methodologies for the big data space. And we need to understand the metrics that are needed and where we need to go. In my opinion, it's very early days for benchmarking in the big data space. Organizations like the Transaction Processing Council have put together benchmarks very much geared for things like SQL, and of course SQL is still important in the big data space as well, but we need to look beyond that. And I know that there's an incredible brain trust here today and expertise out there that needs to now come together so that we can work together on new benchmarks so that we can extend benchmarks into new areas, natural language processing and machine learning, that's becoming so prevalent today. I think I skipped one. So a little bit about the history of this research group. It really came out of a big data benchmarking community that formed back in 2012. And at the 2012 XLDB, I know that this working group was introduced. And it's put together a number of workshops, and out of those have come a number of papers. Of the 5 workshops that have been held so far, 2 were in San Jose, but the other 3 were international, with workshops in India, China, and last year in Germany. And as you'll see on a later slide, there's a couple of workshops coming up, excuse me, this year as well. The specific SPEC research group formed in October last year, and we have weekly calls. Every other week is a public call, and the other off weeks are internal calls. And all of you can join the public calls, and then there'll be information on a later slide on how to join in. And we've had a number of interesting talks so far. This group is also working on assisting with the next 2 big data benchmarking workshops. So there's one coming up next month in Toronto. It's too late to submit for that, but it's not too late to submit for the conference or workshop coming up in December in India, so I encourage you to look into that. The research group has other initiatives going. One benchmark that has gained some momentum is a benchmark called Big Bench, so we're looking at that and some of the ideas that came from that and looking at ways that we can get benchmarks created, formal benchmarks created through the SPEC organization. Okay, so here finally is how to participate. So our next public talk is a week from tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll be here, of course, but a week from tomorrow you're going to be bored and you're going to be looking for something to stimulate your brain. So this is a good way to do it. Dial into our call. The talk is going to be on Graphalytics benchmark for graph processing platforms, and I'm sure it's going to be an interesting talk. That's just one talk. We also would welcome your talks. So if you're interested in giving a talk to the SPEC benchmarking committee, the person to contact is Tillman Robel, and his contact information is here. That's what I'd like to share with you today. Thank you very much for your attention.